Where are you now, and how do you feel physically and comfortable with that size?
Yeah, now I actually got my weight down I stay below 235, now between 233 and 235. Just feeling fast. I just felt like if I had my weight down and just playing fast, that I wouldn't really lose my physicality. Physicality to me is more a mindset, really. So it's been going well. I really love the way I'm playing, how I'm moving.
Was there a point where you noticed that you felt a little sluggish or something? Or was
Yeah, definitely. My sophomore year is probably when I was my heaviest. I reached 252 at that point. I think that's when I didn't really feel good carrying 250. So it was kind of this year, going into the winter, kind of where I felt like I wanted to bring my weight down and get real fast.
How'd you go about doing it, Jason?
Just eating right and really the little things. Meeting with the nutritionist, getting my diet right, drinking more water, staying away from the crappy food, the BK, stuff like that. So.
How does it translate onto the field? What are some of the things you see that you can do better?
You get out of your body what you put into it. So when you're eating right and you're eating healthy, you just play better. You feel better. You recover better. All those kinds of things. So.
Jason, what's been that one thing that you're missing? You know what I mean? Like of all the things you had to give up, or one thing that you're like, oh man,
fast food. Definitely fast food. And Panda. I ate Panda this entire winter and spring. I used to love Panda Express. So I kind of gave that up for the most part. So.
Something you realize as you get older, or is there a moment that you realize that you need to start doing those things, or is it just being an older guy and seeing what guys before you have done? Or?
Yeah, it's more like that. It's more knowing, you're gonna be a better player if you treat your body like a pro. If you start getting in a mindset and like to treat your body like a pro now, it's gonna be easier down the road and stuff like that. So that's kind of really what it was. Just want to get the most of my body, and that starts with nutrition and those little things. So.
How would you characterize the mindset of this team now, and how does it compare to a year ago?
I think guys are just playing super fast. Really confident. More of a veteran team now. You have a lot of guys that have a lot of experience. We're coming off from the sidelines, and it's just like it's nonstop talking, and guys consistently saying, "Hey, you need to do this better," or talking about what happened on the field or what mistakes may have happened and stuff like that. And when you see that, and guys are really trying their hardest to be right all the time, you can tell how much guys care about being right and playing well. We're getting a lot out of practice every day, so we're really, really pleased with that.
Jason, you were talking about being faster. Obviously, Cole brings that speed. Where have you seen him grow most from the end of the Rose Bowl to the last couple of weeks?
I think he's really grown into the Sam position. He's playing with knee bend, playing with his shoulders rolled over, all those things. It's not necessarily easy going from safety to linebacker. Obviously, you got to adjust to the physicality of the game. At linebacker, and his box play has improved the most. That his drops, his depth in his drops. He's really understanding the defense at the Sam position. So he's really coming into his own.
Has that been consistent, or a couple moments maybe stand out to you? Say, okay, he's starting to really get this.
No, I think now he's really putting it together and starting to be consistent. And that's the best thing about watching him grow. And even Manny Bowen too. He's doing a really good job. I think that's somebody who is going to have a huge role this year, and he's going to be a very, very good player for us this year.
Coach has mentioned a number of times since we've been able to talk to him this spring that you're an older guy, they know what they have in you, which leads you to assume that your guys may be doing more coaching this spring than actually competing because they know what they have in you. So is it easier to improve your games in the little areas when you don't have to focus on maybe so much of the big picture because they're giving reps to other guys to see what they have in them?
I think, even if, you're not necessarily out there, taking mental reps, regardless, and even when you're coaching guys through it, you're learning stuff about your position, regardless, constantly talking and watching your position and watching what guys are doing. You're always learning and watching a ton of film, watching NFL film as well. All those things will kind of, help me improve and help really everybody improve on this team.
Going with the same 5 offensive linemen every game, how important is that?
It's important. We have to have, like I said before, I emphasize trust with the offensive line. Like I said before, I'm going to be real repetitive here, but trust is a necessity of offensive linemen, and we have to have that chemistry with those first 5 guys, and people, the next 5 behind us, they have to have the same chemistry, and we all have to be one group, one tight-knit group.
One of the focuses last year was like third and short, just being more physical, driving downfield further. So how have you guys gone about improving that aside from just getting bigger in the weight room and getting hat on hat?
We're out here every day. Repetition is the biggest thing. Practice makes perfect. We're out here almost every day, putting in work, and but right now we're in a good place right now.
Is that an area that you want to do better? Last year, like the third and short, fourth and short?
Oh, absolutely. Third and short, third and long, any kind of third down. The biggest one of the what's the word I'm looking for? I'll just say the biggest plays, on the field, the biggest opportunities you have to make a play is, on third down. And because if you don't get that first down, we're punting the ball. We're giving the ball back to the defense, back to the other team. It's definitely an area of emphasis this spring. I feel like we struggled that, sometimes last year, and it's definitely an area of emphasis.
Brian, I'm sorry if you answered this, but just Mike Moran, can you tell us about how he's done in vision coming in as a true freshman and being thrown into the mix, kind of with some of the things that he's being asked to do?
Oh, it's definitely difficult, being in the position he is coming from high school. He should be still in high school, really, but he's progressing really well so far. Biggest thing, he's got to gain weight. That's anybody, offensive lineman. The real development. It's a developmental, position, and right now he's putting up a good fight. And he's doing really well, against some of the older guys on the defensive line, on one-on-ones and stuff, and in team periods. So he's gonna be a good player here, definitely, but he's showing some promising things.
When you talk about freshmen kind of growing in that first year, how is Connor coming around in his second year in the program?
Connor's considered one of the older guys now, along with, me and Ellie Man. He's considered one of the older guys, and people have to look up to him, and he's got to be more vocal.
Do you feel like an old guy?
Physically, yeah, I feel like an old guy right now, yeah.
Okay, I'll give an extra one on that. 2 more for Ryan. Nothing?
Do you think you guys will go with the same 5? Has there been talk of that?
Right now, it could be any variety of the 5 offensive linemen that wind up starting the spring game or the first game of the season versus Akron. It could be anybody right now.
Ryan, how about Steven Gonzalez? He helped you guys down the stretch last year when you had some injuries. What do you like about him? He seems like he's definitely in running to be one of the starting 5.
Oh, absolutely. Steve, he came into class with me. He was actually my roommate freshman year. We're close. He's probably, he is the strongest person on the offensive line, actually on the offense and defensive line, probably in the weight room. He's a 465-pound bencher, 600-pound squatter. In the run game, he's just a complete mauler. It's a good person to have on the offensive line.